It was about building momentum in your business. And momentum requires layers. And trying to do everything at once is going to just dilute your efforts instead of, getting one thing done really well and then layering on later.
You're listening to Thrive by Design, business, marketing, and lifestyle strategies for your jewelry brand to flourish and thrive. Let's get started.
Welcome to the Thrive by Design podcast, episode 115. Hey guys, it's Tracy Matthews here, and I'm super stoked to be here today talking about something that is probably just like me, is probably your least favorite thing to talk about. Before I dive in, for those of you who don't know me, I am the Chief Visionary Officer over at Flourish and Thrive Academy. And if you haven't checked out Flourish and Thrive, you know where to find us over at flourishthriveacademy.com. Hey, today is part 5 in our Digital Marketing Momentum series. I am excited to bring you a topic today that probably, if you're anything like me, is not your favorite thing to talk about. And that's the numbers. Because, it's really hard to measure how successful you're doing with any of your online efforts if you don't track metrics. And so today, sometimes we got to dive into the nitty-gritty of the stuff that we don't like, the harder stuff that we have to look at the numbers and talk about the metrics that you need to track to measure your success online. And this is really, really important because without a tracking system for these really imperative, important numbers, you're not going to really know if what you're doing is actually working. And I've heard. I like making up new words. It's kind of fun. I've heard a lot of you talking about getting like trickles of traffic to your site. You're not really sure if the amount of traffic that you're getting to your website is actually a lot or not a lot. I remember I was talking with a designer last year, and I might have mentioned that this week. And she said, I'm getting a lot of traffic to my site, but no one's buying. And when I asked her the numbers, she said she had 36 visitors in a month. And if you consider that only 1% on average of visitors that go to your website take an action that leads to a sale, 36 visitors is not very much. You kind of need hundreds in order to start tracking how successful you are. So if you consider every 100 people or 100 views you get on your site, maybe one of those people buys. And that is a good conversion rate, guys. An excellent conversion rate is about 3%. So think of it that way. So what we're trying to do is get good quality traffic landing on your website and setting up your website in a way that gets people to move through the sale. And that's what this entire week has been about, because in our Diamond Insiders group and in our mastermind, one of the things that people have been talking about over and over again for the past couple of years is that they really want to stop doing so many shows, or they want to be able to have a business that, is sort of working for them, where they wake up in the morning, they have inquiries on their in their contact form page if they have a business like me, or they're getting sales overnight. And I think that is what we would all like to do, is to have a business that is getting consistent sales sort of on autopilot, so that those trickles of traffic start to become volumes of traffic and we start getting this sold out e-shop, right? So that's what this entire week has been about. I wanted to just sort of kickstart some ideas and spark some energy behind your online sales success and really create some strategies so that you're having, more of a successful online strategy in general, and that you're really building a brand that people remember and continue to come back for. Now, earlier this week, we've done several episodes. Monday, episode 111, was all about your sold out e-store checklist. So this is for you guys who are doing e-commerce, but also for those of you who are creating an online presence to try and get people actually filling out a contact form or a custom jewelry form. It's not necessarily an e-store or an e-shop. But Monday was all about things your website needs to kind of have on it in order to increase your conversion percentage and to make sure that you're capturing at least that 1% of people who come to your site, right? On Tuesday, episode 112, we, in the Digital Marketing Momentum series, we talked about how to brand for more sales online. And this was an episode with Melissa Camilleri Anasich. She's amazing with branding, and you're going to really love the episode. We had a really fun conversation. So make sure that you check that out. Wednesday, we talked about, on episode 113, I talked about how to master your digital marketing strategy so that you were really successful with the things that you're doing. So a lot of the designers that we mentor, they're like, oh, I'm posting on Facebook and no one's commenting or liking, or I'm posting on Instagram and I don't get why people aren't buying from my Instagram. And if you don't like really have a strategy behind what you're doing and you're trying to do kind of everything at once without like really nailing in one thing and making that one thing really good, then you're not going to have a lot of success. So you need to think strategically about how you're approaching your complete online strategy to make sure that it's successful. So we'll talk about online marketing strategy on Wednesday. Make sure you check out episode 113. Episode 114 is all about how to use paid traffic and automation to sell on autopilot. So some of you might not necessarily be at the point where you want to invest money into paid traffic, but this is something that you need to understand. So even if you aren't paying for traffic, you need to have automation in place on your website so that your website is actually doing the work for you. And this takes out a lot of the energy that you're putting into the marketing and your sales efforts online. So all of these episodes are all kind of building on something that we've created here called the Digital Marketing Momentum Scorecard. And I'd love for you to check that out. It's a completely free resource that we have over here at Flourish and Thrive Academy. You can grab that over at flourishthriveacademy.com/marketing scorecard. That's flourishthriveacademy.com/marketing scorecard. And the cool thing about this scorecard is it's going to kind of show you where you are in your digital marketing strategy. I think some of you might be surprised at the results that you get because you might think that you have it all together and you might have a lot of gaps in the strategy, and that could be the reason why you're maybe not getting the sales conversions that you want on your website. Conversely, some of you may be killing it and way ahead, and that's good to know too. So it's nice to have have a clear understanding and baseline of where you are. Now, I'm going to warn you, this digital marketing scorecard is pretty in depth. So chunk out a piece of time to really answer the questions. I don't want you to overthink it. If you don't know the answer to the question that we asked, the answer is probably no, or it's something that you need to research and figure out. So we've designed this because we know a lot of you aren't really sure where you stand in the digital marketing world. So make sure that you download that. It's also going to be in the show notes over here at flourishthriveacademy.com/episode 115. You can grab it, download it there. It's a really amazing resource. Last week at our live event, we announced the opening of enrollment for something really amazing that we're doing here. We have decided to sort of pivot what we were doing with our mastermind for many years. So for those of you who know and been following us, our mastermind program was our highest level program over here at Flourish and Thrive Academy. Now we've changed things around because a lot of people have been asking for one-on-one coaching. And we know that the majority of the people in the audience here at Flourish and Thrive really are focused on online conversions and digital marketing so that they can, be selling online or using offline to online to build their sales, or online to offline to help grow presence at live events, to help grow their wholesale outreach, and to help grow, exposure and press and PR and all those things that compound together when you kind of put them all together to grow business and create an unforgettable brand. Now, a lot of the people in our Diamond Insiders have already been through our Laying the Foundation course, and they're ready for the next step. So we've decided to launch this one-on-one coaching program, and it's a one-on-one and group coaching program actually sort of combined, but the focus really is how to create a successful online strategy, and we're calling it the SOS Accelerator. It's pretty amazing. If you want to check out more, head on over to flourishthriveacademy.com/SOS. That's flourishthriveacademy.com/SOS. I'm going to share a little bit more about what is included in the program. If you want to apply, we have very limited spots available. You can head on over and submit your application. There is an application fee incorporated with that, and we'll reveal more details once you apply for the program. But remember, this is really geared towards getting you to that next level. We have a really great team behind this, coaches that specialize in all areas of online digital branding strategy to help you elevate your brand to the next level, which is pretty amazing. So make sure you check that out. All right, now let's dive in to what we really need to talk about today, which is tracking your metrics. But before we do, I want to take a word from our sponsor. Today's sponsor is Whatify. If you haven't checked out Whatify and you're selling on Etsy, you are totally missing out. Whatify is an automated split testing service for photographs on Etsy. And it's proven that certain photographs attract more customers than others. And sometimes we don't know. I've been on many, many Etsy shops where I can't even see the product, and designers are wondering, like, why is my Etsy shop not converting? Why aren't people buying on my Etsy shop? Well, this is really important. Whatify is a platform that provides A/B split testing for your photographs on Etsy. They're rolling out with a bunch of new features coming up really soon, and API integrations for other platforms as well. So get excited and stay tuned. And they're also offering a really great offer for Flourish and Thrive listeners where you can get 50% off of your Whatify subscription. It's proven to increase traffic by up to 10% for the average Etsy user. And that's just average. If you guys totally nail this, guys, you can get traffic up, improved traffic and conversions up to 25%. It's automatic and easy. The entire process of getting set up, getting results, and implementing them takes just a few minutes of your time, which is really cool. A/B split testing is the same techniques that really smart marketers use it, and big brands like Google and Netflix and Amazon to help improve their conversions. So, they're ahead of the game here, guys. Super important. And this was designed by a professor and a designer who are MBAs and they were really driven by the idea that data analytics should be used not only by big companies, but the little guys too. And, they're really here to help out. It's a really awesome service. They have a complete free trial, which you can check out over at flourishthriveacademy.com/Whatify. That's flourishthriveacademy.com/Whatify. They'll give you some really great results and things to sort of sink your teeth in. If you decide to move forward, your subscription is really, really affordable. And it's based on the volume of sales that you do. So it's a super amazing platform, super amazing application. Definitely head on over to flourishthriveacademy.com/Whatify if you're selling on Etsy and check it out. All right, let's dive into today's episode and talk about metrics, guys. So today I wanted to make sure that I did something that was a little bit out of my comfort zone, and I talked about tracking numbers. Now, I love looking at numbers and I love tracking numbers, but sometimes it intimidates me, and I'll tell you why it intimidates me. Because sometimes if I'm not getting the growth that I think that I should be, I feel like a failure. And so sometimes it feels easier to not look at the numbers than it is to actually look at them. But what I want to tell you is that looking at metrics and looking at numbers is empowering and will give you a platform and baseline and groundwork to actually grow from and improve. And I think it's, a huge missed opportunity for designers and makers like you and me when we're not looking at metrics. So I want to talk about some of the online metrics that you should be looking at if you really want to have a successful online strategy, aka SOS strategy, to get your business sort of to the next level and make sure that you're able to get more traffic to your site, that traffic is actually converting, that you're getting at least that 1% conversion, and you're trying to improve that up to 3% conversion. And if you have a business like me that maybe you're, closing 20, 30, 50, 80% of the inquiries that come in that are qualified. So it's a really great tool, really great episode today, and a tool. So take some notes, but download our digital momentum marketing scorecard because I have a lot of these things listed out here that you should be looking at. So the first things first, let's talk about how to track, because I think that is an important thing that we might be missing. Like, we might not really know how to track these metrics and what are the best tools. So of course, we want to track obvious things like our sales. So sales figures can be tracked in a lot of different ways. I highly recommend that you tracking all your sales in QuickBooks Online or Xero, an accounting program like that where you can keep track of actually like your sales growth year over year. But one of the things that I really like to do to track my sales over time was to use a spreadsheet, which I'm going to talk about a little bit later, because that was something where we could set goals and also track results in addition to actually seeing our actual sales. So there's two ways to track that, but make sure that you're using tools like accounting programs, inventory programs, spreadsheets with multiple tabs that it housed in your systems organizer template, which we have an awesome template for those of you who don't own it over here at Flourish and Thrive Academy. That you're using tools like that to actually track your metrics, because if you don't have some sort of system in place, you're not going to stick to it. And over time, like, you might do something here and there one month, like take some notes on your phone or put it in a Google Doc. But if you don't have the same place that you're consistently looking at it and you're consistently building it out, and you can actually compare growth, then I think you're going to be like really doing yourself a disservice. So make sure that you have a solid way to track it. Now, let's dive into what to track. So I mentioned this before. The first thing you want to track is sales, right? So I like to have a spreadsheet that had multiple tabs, but one of the spreadsheets that I did, I would have a last year sales goal, and then this year actual sales, like all in the same spreadsheet. And we did it, I broke it down by quarter. So this is a really great thing to track so you can actually see sales growth. You can break it down if you want to by category, like if you want to track your online sales, wholesale sales, direct to consumer sales, custom orders, event like trunk shows, break it out however you'd like so that it makes sense so you can see where the sales are coming from. And that's a really great way to actually record and track your sales. The next thing that I think is really important to track is your email success. And the things that you want to track on your emails is number one, how often are you mailing? You'd also want to track open rates, click-through rates, headline conversions, and any split tests that you're doing with headlines or content, because those are important things to know, like, are they actually working? And when you're tracking email, like the smaller your list and the more engaged your audience, the higher the open rate will be. The bigger your list and the less engaged your audience, the lower your click-through rate could be. So you can segment your list into smaller sections so you know what people are actually looking for, and start sending emails based on that. Then the next thing you want to track are social media metrics. So we have a really lush social media spreadsheet over here at Flourish and Thrive, and my executive assistant is starting one for my Tracy Matthews brand so we can track social media growth and continue to start increasing our impact, sales, engagement, all that stuff through social media. So some of the things that you'd want to track on social media are the number of followers you have, maybe the growth rate of the followers, the comments that you're getting on each post, engagement. So you can like average out that, like, I'm getting 10 comments per usual on a post, like maybe engagement, maybe the amount of sharing that the posts get. And then I would say I also probably track the percentage of engagement based on the followers you had. I know that a lot is changing in the social media world. And I know that on certain platforms like Facebook, getting 1% of the followers liking, commenting, etc. on your post is actually not an unusual engagement rate. On Instagram, it's definitely higher, but as the algorithms change and all that stuff, like those are the things that you might want to be measuring to see like the success of your posts. On Pinterest, we think of Pinterest sort of as a search engine, not as much social media. But you want to track the number of followers that you're getting, the boards, your repins, clicks, website traffic, etc. If you have group boards connected to your actual Pinterest page, then you would want to maybe track the growth of the group board and how many people are pinning on it, etc. For advertising, you want to be tracking things like return on investment, click-through rates, cost per clicks based on the ads and the campaigns that you're doing. The types of ads and the type of campaigns. Are these like user engagement campaigns? Are they actual sales campaigns where you're trying to get people to your website? You'd want to track conversions on your website, maybe new traffic versus sales. As I mentioned earlier, 1% is actually a good conversion rate, traffic to sales for product-based businesses. 3% is excellent for online businesses. So do the math. When you think of like, if you're getting 3% traffic from 100 visitors, that's 3 sales, guys. So this is where the traffic piece and getting enough traffic really becomes important. And remember, there are millions of people on the internet. So, getting 1,000 new people to your website a week is not an impossible feat if you have the right strategy. You'd also want to track how you're ranking on things like SEO and search. Like, how is it showing up on the page? Are you using SEO to like improve your, progress on pages? Are you coming up on earlier pages in search? You'd want to track variances on where traffic is coming from. So are you getting more traffic from certain sources? Like maybe Instagram's a great traffic space for you, but Facebook isn't, or vice versa. Or maybe you're getting a lot of traffic from people that you meet online and send them to your website. And remember, the warmer the audience, the more people know about your brand, the higher conversion you're going to have. So if you're using like offline to online strategies, like when you meet people at live events, or you give them some sort of like special offer to shop after they meet you at a trunk show, to shop online, this is a great way for you to convert at a higher percentage rate when people actually know you, because that warm traffic It's going to always have a much better conversion than cold traffic or people who don't know you. You'd also want to track conversion rates in your funnel. So these are automated funnels, ideally, that you have set up on your site. We walk you through some of the automated funnels that you want to think about in our marketing momentum scorecard. Make sure that you check that out. But you'd want to understand, when people are going through the funnel, how many of those people are actually clicking up through the links in the email? How many of those people are actually buying? If you're spending money to actually get people into that funnel, is the funnel converting at least double your ad spend? That's a great place to be. So let's say you spend $20. You have to spend a lot more to actually get results for product-based advertising, but let's say you spent $20 just to keep the math easy. You'd want to be making at least $40 in sales. Where the gravy really comes in and the bonus here is to recapture those people buying one item for a second sale because they're already on your list, they're already buyers, and it becomes easier once they're already purchased. You'd also want to track abandoned cart recapture rates. I've heard some of the designers in our communities using abandoned cart sequences and abandoned cart apps and plugins with their Shopify or website platforms. And I've heard insanely crazy results, guys. 35% recapture of abandoned carts. That's a lot of sales. That's a lot of extra people coming and actually buying and going through your funnel, which is amazing. And then other things that you'd want to convert, which might not seem interesting, are any offline to online strategies. So if you're giving away, let's say you're giving away a discount coupon at a live event that you're having or some sort of thing to try and get people to shop on your website. I know that when I go to sample sales here in New York, a lot of times the people who are hosting the sample sales will give me a business card that gives you a month to buy something on their website for 30% off. It's a really good strategy because that, they're giving a discount, sure, which is not always my favorite thing, but that's a way for them to keep, connected with their loyal fans and followings, to grow their email list, to create an overall cohesive strategy. And then my favorite thing to track, especially in my type of business, is a call conversion rate. So basically the way it works, and I have really high success rate and high conversions by getting on the phone with people, especially for those of you who design fine jewelry. You need a call strategy to talk to people about your products. It's really hard to sell fine jewelry just straight in an e-commerce store without being available to talk to your customers or being able to chat or have some sort of messenger bot strategy or something, which we're going to talk about next week on your site. So make sure that you're tracking your conversion, your call conversion strategies from people inquiring through your website and getting those people on the phone and setting up a call. There's a lot of things that you can do to automate that process, which we also will walk you through a little bit on the Momentum Scorecard. And these are also things that I will support you with on, in our SOS Accelerator, if that's something you're interested in checking out. But I think that's really important. And then the final thing that I want you to track and think about is actually getting a messenger bot strategy in place, because messenger bots are the wave of the future and they're really hot right now. And it's a great way to keep people engaged on Facebook. But it's going to be saturated like other things in any given time, and then we'll be on to the next thing. So I would capitalize on this now. I've heard conversion rates and metrics of people opening up to 95% of their Facebook messages that go out. So this is a really great way to stay engaged with your customers and to build excitement about your brand online. All right, that's a lot of stuff to track, right? I'm sure your head's spinning, and I don't blame you. I know that there are a lot of things to think about, but I don't want to overwhelm you because this is really all a step-by-step process. And one of the keys to getting online momentum is taking it one step at a time and knocking out one thing and doing it well, and then adding on layers. This was the whole theme of our momentum theme at Flourish and Thrive Live this last week. It was about building momentum in your business, and momentum requires layers, and trying to do everything at once is going to just dilute your efforts instead of, getting one thing done really well and then layering on later. And I have to be honest with you guys, I am an idea person. I love to move new ideas forward in my business. And I've diluted my own brands many times by trying to do too much at once. And this is where I've had to step back in my business and take a look, what am I best at? In fact, one of the reasons why I pulled back with my custom jewelry strategy and the offerings that I had with my jewelry brand was that I wanted to make sure that I was staying really focused. And especially when I started Flourish and Thrive Academy, I knew I was going to have less time, but I still wanted to be continuing and keeping the same amount of income. So what I ended up doing was just limiting what I offer. So I used to do like diamond brokering. I used to also do a lot of private label, which I still do on occasion for the right clients. I would do like freelance design for other people. And then I also did my custom jewelry, my custom commissions, and heirloom design projects. And what I noticed is that a lot of, like when I was doing all those things, people didn't really know what to come for me for, and my conversions were much lower. Now that I've gotten really specific and I'm really clear about what I stand for and what I do, I'm getting like amazing conversions, and I'm able to close sometimes up to 80% of the inquiries, of the qualified leads and inquiries that come on my site. That's a pretty high conversion, guys. So just think about it. If you're selling a high-end product, even if you're selling a low-end product, if you could convert just by getting on the phone, think about how high your conversions, like how much you can improve and increase your conversions. So make sure you're thinking this through, guys. I know this is a lot. Your head might be spinning, as I mentioned before, but keep track of this stuff. This is important. And just start one step at a time. Even if you just start with your sales and social media, it's a great place to start. All right, guys. So I am excited because we have our SOS Accelerator is open for enrollment, and we're only accepting a limited number of people right now. The program actually starts in January of 2018. We are opening enrollment now. You might think that's a little bit crazy because we know that during the holiday season, you're really busy, but you also want some extra support. So I have some masterclasses lined up to help you with your holiday sales strategy. We're going to dig deep into your business specifically. You'll get a kickoff call to start off in October, which we're really excited about, by either me or someone on the Flourish and Thrive coaching team, which I'm really excited about. And we're going to kick this off right with a proper half-day planning session in December. So December is the time that we need to be focused on 2018 sales and really making sure that we are thinking the whole year through and that we have a strategy behind that. So I'm going to be hosting that workshop with Inta Ivins, our planning and success and operations coach over here at Flourish and Thrive Academy. And it's going to be pretty amazing. So you get a lot of benefits for jumping in early, plus the price goes up. So we're capping this group off. We cannot take more than 50 people at all for the entire year. We are only allowing 30 people to join now. The rest of the intake will be done in 2018. And the price is going up significantly in 2018. So if you jump on now, you're going to save tons of money and also have such valuable tools to be able to move forward in your business, including one-on-one coaching sessions every single month with our team of digital marketing experts who are focused on things like copywriting, branding, website conversions, design, digital marketing strategy, social media strategy. We have e-commerce strategy, abandoned cart strategy, SEO, you name it, we got it. Plus, we're also bringing in some tech experts to give you laser coaching sessions, one-on-one laser coaching sessions, guys, if you choose, to help you set up some of the tech in your business, because this is I know for me, it's always been a setback. So we're really curating an amazing group of people, an amazing group of coaches, and you guys you're going to really love this. So make sure that you check it out. It is an application process. So you need to head on over to flourishthriveacademy.com/SOS. That's flourishthriveacademy.com/SOS to apply. And I know some of you might be thinking, why should I apply? Well, we really want to make sure that you're ready for this. And this isn't to discourage some of you that are newbies, because that's not really the baseline that we're going off of. We definitely are taking designers who are new in the business, who really want to ramp up their success. But there's certain things that have to be in place in order for us to be able to successfully help you. So we are taking everyone through an application process. And if you've been in business for a while, or even you've been in business for a long time, but you haven't really had sort of that online conversion success, this is definitely a program for you. We're going to be walking you through what's going on with your website and how we think you can improve it to get more conversions, and help you really lay out a proper strategy so that you can layer it on, so that you're having more success, more sales, and that you're, making consistent sales every single day online. All right, guys, I am super excited for this program. You could check it out over at flourishthriveacademy.com/SOS. And if you know another designer who might be interested, please feel free to send them along. I'm really excited about what 2018 has in store for you. All right, until next time, this is Tracy Matthews signing off. Make sure you join us next week. We're going to be talking all about messenger bots.